Welcome to Flight Paths, a podcast that dives into who athletes are outside of their sport, aiming to give a platform to topics that matter most to them. My name is Maggie Troxell, and I am your host. Today I'm joined by Klaudia Kazimierska. She's a middle distance runner at Oregon for Oregon Cross Country in Oregon Track and Field and a 2024 Olympian.
Hi, everyone. My name is Klaudia. I'm a middle distance runner, competing for U of O and internationally for Poland, where I'm from. Came to Oregon over 2 years ago, and yeah, that's my little story.
It's your little story. So, I first want to talk about Poland versus America, because I think that there's so many things.
Definitely.
So many things, athletic and non-athletic. First off, how did you, begin to get involved with Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're on the other side of the world. How did you pick Oregon?
Yeah, it's kind of confusing for some people, but of course we know in Europe about NCAA. Like, everybody knows that USA has this huge system for universities and competing. So I was aware, and I knew some other athletes that were coming to NCAA, but I also knew athletes from Poland that were here. So I think that was kind of a good gate that was for me to come here. Coaches were reaching out to me from different schools as well. They recruit a lot of internationals, and they just saw me somewhere competing internationally when I was younger, 16, 17, and they started reaching out to me when I was yet in high school, kind of finishing my high school. But I didn't come here straight off high school. I started college in Poland and then came here, which is, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where did you go in Poland?
I was also doing math at the university in Poznan. I don't know if you probably know, but it's a kind of one of the bigger cities in Poland. But yeah, I started college there, but it was just very hard to do both running and school. We don't have systems supporting here, so I was doing kind of running and school independently, and it was really hard to collaborate those both. So at some point I was okay, I kind of need to decide, because I always wanted to finish university. That was the thing that my parents were also telling me, that always that you need that, and running is cool and fun, but it ends at some point. And to be honest, we can retire in when we are 35, which is crazy, but because many people just start normal jobs then, and we are basically done with our first job, which is running. So I always wanted to finish school, and that's why I kind of decided to come and got a good introduction from other athletes that were just here previously in the track team. There were two Polish girls before. So Aneta graduated right when I came. So she finished in June 2022, and I came in September 2022.
I didn't know you started school in Poland.
Yeah, I did.
That's why I love doing this, is because I find out weird things and just things I don't know.
It didn't work out. It was still part-time school, because it was still hard, but yeah, part-time school was hard. So you can only imagine how full-time school would be hard. So.
Yeah. What is European university versus
Mm-hmm.
American?
Well, I think the biggest difference is that you have definitely more classes, and in Poland undergrad is 3 years. So you have definitely is more intense. You have classes every day, and they give you kind of a schedule. It's not like here that you pick classes. You have your schedule that you have for the whole semester. We have semesters, so you go there every day. You have the same group of people. You have 30 or 60 people usually to have classes with, and you see those people every day. You don't pick your classes, and for example, I would have classes from 8 to 12, then 2 hours break, and from 2 to 6, and it would be so intense. You don't have time actually for practicing, and imagine in the winter when you actually it's getting dark so early, and I didn't have time to practice. It was so bad. And then you travel, for example, because in Europe we base on a camp system. So I would be traveling for camps, for example, for 3 weeks somewhere to Kenya, and then I would get back and be so behind with school. So yeah, it was hard. I passed everything. I had individual approach since I was an athlete, and I was representing Poland at that point already, so they knew that I'm athlete, but it was more I had to do some work to actually explain that to them. There was nobody helping me with that. So yeah, that's pretty difficult to do.
That's crazy. That's so cool though. So it was definitely more like a high school structure where it's more consistent. Okay.
Yeah, like, and you don't have like any university competitions, anything, like you don't represent your university. I was running for my club, so that's how it works.
When did you start learning English? Like, how did you start learning English? Because I think that's super interesting. Because you are coming from a country that is not primarily English speaking.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't know. I've met you like probably in my first year at U of O, so probably you thought that I'm crazy because I didn't speak much, but I was just really shy at that point, and I feel like I understood everything, but I didn't like want to talk actually. And it was kind of hard to like talk because I felt like I was translating everything in my head before speaking out loud, and now I actually think in English when I talk in English, which is crazy. But I started like English classes. You start usually in Poland when you're like, I would say in your primary school, like when I was probably like 9-10 years old, and then through the whole middle school and high school, and then in college for a little bit. But I had like extra classes when I was in high school, just because like I started traveling more as an athlete, and I felt like I cannot communicate. So like my parents were like, yeah, we gotta find someone to help you. But it wasn't like I was passing all the classes of English and like it was fine in school, but I felt like to just communicate, like our school didn't prepare me like that well. So like I've learned a lot of English when I just came here through communicating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I took French throughout high school and college, and so when I went to France with my mom right before college started, and it was very interesting seeing how I thought in French when I had never done that, but like when I was actually immersed, it was a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if it was kind of like the same situation, and also when I was learning French, I learned that a lot of European schools teach English as like a primary second language.
Yeah. What is interesting, like we need to take English in school, but you also need to take another language. So I was taking like Spanish for a little bit, German for a little bit, Italian for a little bit. Like I took many classes, but I couldn't communicate in none of those. Probably I could understand some stuff, but yeah, English is like primary second language for everybody. And I feel like now with my generation, like our generation, yeah, people speak English. Like my parents didn't have English classes in school. They were learning Russian at that point.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, because they're like in school like 70s, 80s. So that was the time when they were teaching them Russian. And like since I would say like 2000 around, they switched it to English since we joined European Union. So yeah, I was lucky to actually have English classes because like I know my parents, like they can't speak English, and that's kind of hard for them because like okay, like it's not like nobody that is older than me can speak English. Like of course some people like at universities they speak English, but like my parents didn't need that because they just live in Poland, so like why would they do that? And now I'm like trying to convince them to try because I want them to come. So
have they ever been out here?
No, but that's a secret, but they are coming. They're coming for my graduation this year and for NCAA's outdoors. Yeah.
Are you graduating this year?
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Oh my god, that's so exciting.
Yeah. I'm so excited, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Then you gotta get better.
I know, but they're coming with my sister, and she speaks English. So that's also why she needs to come. But no, I want her to come. Like, and I want to show them like my life because they've never been to US, and I feel like I've been here for over 2 years, and I show them everything. Like I'm on the calls with them all the time, but like I want them to actually come and see how I live, because it's so much different, and I think it's so hard to describe it when I'm actually home, and like maybe they will also see like how my mentality has changed because I just live here and everything is so different.
Yeah. Has your sister ever been to the US?
No, she has never been. I've never been to US before coming to US too. Like,
did you ever come out and see it before you moved here?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just took the flight and came, and I was like, yeah, I turned 21 right after I came, so it was kind of like fun to have my 21st birthday right after I came. But yeah, it was my first time in US. Like, I was pretty overwhelmed.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of leads really well into me wanting to know about culture shocks.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the biggest things that are like so different?
I would say just lifestyle. Like here it's like you're always busy, and you always feel like you can be better. but here like nobody is judging you as well, which is great. I feel like we're kind of judgy in Eastern Europe, but here it's like you can do whatever you want, and I think that's kind of cool that I can actually be myself without anybody judging me. But like culturally, I was surprised probably how like people use cars all the time. Like why? I like walking, and people are like surprised that I want to go between like buildings, campus, not biking. I'm like, yeah, it's close. I can walk. I like walking, and people are like crazy about it. I was surprised how many things you can make in microwave.
That's so true, though.
Yeah, like how you can buy just like food and just microwave it. I'm like, oh, okay. That it seems like I gotta do it too. I mean, no, I'm not doing that often, but like, or like, I don't know. For a long time, we didn't even have like kettle in the at the house because we were just warming up water in the microwave. And like at my home in Poland, we would never do it. Like, I just heat up water in microwave. Like, what the heck?
No, the kettle is life-changing.
Yeah, I love it.
I love asking that to my international friends. I have some friends in France from when I was learning and when I went over there. I remember very explicitly the yellow school buses. They were shocked that those actually existed. And American money. Because they were like, it's literally movie money. It's real. And it's like, it makes sense.
Yeah, but like also, the thing that you can go to drive-through everywhere. Like, the only one place that we have drive-thru in Europe, it's McDonald's. I mean, in Poland. And we don't have, like, that many fast food restaurants. But, like, yeah, just, I feel like the culture of, like, commuting everywhere by car, it's, like, crazy. And, like, everybody has a car here. I don't. But, everybody has a car, and, like, people are surprised that I don't. I'm like, yeah, like... I mean, Eugene is pretty walkable, which is great, and, like, you can bike, scooter everywhere. That's nice, but I feel like just kind of the culture of not walking. Yeah,
it's weird. I grew up in Portland, and so that's also a very green city, so they want you to bike and walk everywhere. So like that's what I was used to.
Yeah.
I lived in a spot where I could walk to my primary school, middle school, and high school, so that's what I grew up doing.
Yeah.
I don't own a car. I have a scooter.
Oh, you're not an athlete and you have a scooter?
Listen, I used to work in Autzen. I don't want to walk over there. I don't want to drive over there.
No, that makes sense. It's faster to go from campus, like, on scooter than driving there.
Exactly. And I live South University, so I walk most of the time, but in the mornings when it's cold, I use the scooter. Yeah. It's my cheat, but I don't have a car.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than a car.
People think I'm crazy, but I just...
You're not.
I don't
I'm with you.
Do you have anything you want to talk about?
The aspect that the track and sport is very team oriented here. Like, that was kind of a new thing for me also, to kind of focus on the team but also on yourself. I was an individual, like very individual before coming here. I was like basically one-on-one with my coach. And now I have like so many teammates and like just kind of this team atmosphere, and you have sometimes to do something for the team, not always for yourself. And it's like, it's still fun. You kind of like realize that doing something like for people, it's sometimes even more fun than doing some stuff for yourself. Yeah, that's definitely different, that like all the sports here are actually like team sports, even if you're competing individually, like track or like tennis, whatever, like people play individually, but it's like a team score at the end. So I think that's also something that was difficult at the beginning to kind of like understand, also like how to work with my teammates, how to practice with them, to just kind of help each other, not compete with each other at the workouts, because like we are all pretty much the same, like at the same level, and like there are like so small differences between us at the workout, and you actually need to like take it very easy and be like, okay, like we are not here to compete, we are competing at the race. So that was also pretty challenging, I think.
I want to think about that.
Yeah.
How is like getting settled here? Like finding friends, and like those first few weeks probably were not easy.
Yeah.
Because you weren't with your family? You didn't really know anyone?
Yeah.
What was that like adjustment?
Okay, so there's actually a fun story. Since I was coming to Eugene, I was recruited by a different coach, but the previous coach left right before I came, and I didn't know our new coach basically at all. So I was like, oh, I'm taking the risk. I'm staying. Like, I'm still coming. I always wanted to do that. So I was like, okay, I'm staying. And then I came here, and first week I was so homesick. Like, I was crying every day, calling my parents. They were like, okay, just pack your bags and get back home. Like, if you're that unhappy, like, we can just get you back home. And I was like, no, I need to get through it. And I had my birthday right after I came, like, in the first week. And I feel like that was kind of also sad to be first time so far from your friends and family for your birthday. But then I think since that day, I can't remember when it was exactly that, but it was like 5-6 days after I came. My team like knew that I have a birthday, and they like made a little party, and it was like kind of a day that I was like, okay, like from there it's gonna be only better. And like since then I was like, okay, we're fine. And I feel like since then I stopped like being that homesick. But I feel like the biggest fear that I've had at the beginning was that I'm never gonna be myself, because I had such a huge problem with communicating in English. Like, it was so hard to express what I actually think and what I want. And it was just like, I felt like I'm never gonna have real friends, because like, how am I supposed to be myself in different language? And then since I started like more communicating, be more comfortable with English, it kind of helped me to get through this one first barrier, the biggest one. But I'm also like very grateful for my teammates at that point to kind of like help me get through it. Like, I would never like ask someone to hang out, but they would be asking me like, oh, do you want to hang out? I remember like my friends asking me if I want to go to Pumpkin Patch in October. It was like month after, and like I would never ask people to go, you know, like I was like very like shy, and they were like, no, like go with us and that stuff. Or like they would be, oh, do you want to go get coffee and that stuff? And I think that was really like encouraging to me, that I was like, okay, like people actually want to spend time with me, and I was just opening more and more. And yeah, within the first week I was like, oh, I'm packing my bags and I'm not coming back here after Christmas. Like, I was like, I'm giving myself one term, and like I'm gonna get back home, and I'm not coming back here after Christmas. But then actually, like within like every week, it was getting better and better. Like, I felt more comfortable with training, with people speaking, and then I was so excited to actually get back here after Christmas. And that was actually probably a good sign. And I think, which is crazy, when I got home for my first Christmas break, it was like 3 weeks at home, I like finally, after this break, I started like talking in English. I don't know that break like helped me kind of to like understand that like I actually can do it, but I also like kept in touch with my friends over Christmas break, and that kind of showed me that, oh, I can actually live and communicate, and like there's no language barrier anymore. So I think mostly language was challenging to kind of like find myself here, but once I started like speaking English better, then it just moved on.
That's so cute though. The pumpkin patch, that's adorable.
Yeah.
I didn't know they threw a little party either. That's so cute.
Yeah, they're
That's
so
awesome.
cute.
Who threw it?
Just all of my teammates, and it was actually so stressful too, because we had recruits on that weekend. So it was my first week, so many new things and new recruits coming in, and then like we had like little party with those 3 recruits. They ended up coming here, and they're here now, so it's actually cool, because I could celebrate with them already, and they came a year later. But yeah, just all my teammates and like their apartment, so it was so nice. And I had a cake, and like they were asking me like, oh, what kind of cake you like the most, and all that stuff. And my roommate, Melissa, I think it was her 5th year at Oregon. And it's actually interesting because she knew 2 Polish other runners that were here before, because they were here when she was there already. So I lived with Melissa in my first year, and I lived in the same room that my previous Polish teammates lived in. So
that's kind of funny.
She was like, she knew everything. She kind of like helped me to get through that. And I remember that I woke up on my birthday morning, and there was like, she was asking me that like a few days before, like, what was my favorite cake and everything. And I woke up this morning, and I had like brownies down there, because they said that I like brownies, and she just baked brownies for me. And I was like, oh my god, this is so adorable. I bet I have still a picture of it in my phone. It was like, first moment I was like, okay, like people actually like care here, and I'm not alone. So yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, she was like an older sister for me, so.
That's probably also so nice to have someone that has had Polish teammates, because she probably learn some culture things from them.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not gonna say home away from home, but it's
I mean, it
home
kind of
adjacent
is.
as you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of need to make it your home at some point, so
That's true.
you cannot feel like a guest here all the time. Now I feel more like a guest at home in Poland. So.
Do you think you'll stay in the U.S. after graduation?
I would like to. I want to like stay in US for running, definitely, just because like I like the team aspect, and like here running is a team sport, so I want to stay and join some group to just have those teammates. Cause like in Europe and Poland, you're mostly individual, going for some camps with some other people, but like where I live in my hometown, I was practicing all by myself, except those few weeks when I go for camp. So like I can't imagine practicing by myself anymore. So yeah, I want to stay in US.
The post-grad stuff is so interesting because there's so many options,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't imagine being an athlete and having those options.
Yeah.
I already feel like I'm stressed out enough with just trying to find a job and knowing what I want to do.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like balancing what club you want to go to or who
Yeah.
you want to train with, and
Yeah, it's like everything looks so perfect everywhere, and you're like, "It's where I'm supposed to go." Like every place is great, and you don't want to break people's hearts too. And I'm like, I'm so bad at saying no, actually.
I know you are. You're so nice. Do you have any other city that you'd want to live in, like outside of Eugene?
I mean, there's a lot of great places in US that I've been like visiting to, for races and all that stuff. I definitely love Boston. I wouldn't say I've been to New York more like a tourist. So like it's fun to go probably, but I don't know if I would like to live there. I love California anyway, and just the weather and I don't know, the vibes. Colorado is nice too. Just the nature and sun that's there. But yeah, there's so many places. Like basically, I mean the place is very important, but I would say the people, like the group that I would join. So
Yeah. Places are cool, but people make the places.
yeah, exactly.
I love Boston, though.
I know.
The first time we went out there, I was sold.
I know.
It was so cool.
It's so cool. It gives like European city vibes, and I feel like that's why I like it also.
Yeah. It feels like a European city, but also a West Coast city, like combined on the East Coast.
Like it has a American vibes, so like it's very chill and free. But then it has like, I don't know, the architectures there is so cool, and I feel like it's just like a big city, but it's not actually that overwhelming as other places. It's not that loud.
Yeah. I felt like it reminded me of London.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I mean, it's kind of post-British influence, right?
You're right. I do forget that sometimes. Now I want to talk about Olympics.
Okay.
What was that like? In a nutshell, what was that like?
Like, it seemed unreal. Like, you go there and it's kind of the place that you've always dreamed of, and you go there and it's like, oh, like it's real. I can touch the building, I can touch the track, like I have my bib, like it's happening. It's not a dream anymore. And it's kind of crazy because like when you're a kid and you start doing sport, you'll have this dream, like you always want to, I don't know, be Olympic champion. And like of course, like I'm not fully satisfied with what I did at Olympics. Like I always want more, and I want to be a medalist. Like I knew that it's not gonna happen in Paris probably, but I'm hoping that for the future. And when you just go there and you like realize that it's not a dream anymore, like it's a box that you checked, but there's more to come. And no, it's kind of like being in like the paradise of like sports, you know. Like it's been funny because like I was watching TikToks and people were having FOMO from not being in Olympic Village, and I'm like yeah, you should.
Yeah, I'm actually here right now.
Yeah, it was funny to watch the TikToks and you're there, and I'm like, oh well, I can do that. I can't like just watch it. I can go there. Like people are posting about like, oh, go to like hair salon. I didn't go there, but like I can go there. Like I'm there. I don't need to like just dream, oh, I wish I could. No, I can actually go there.
You're watching TikToks about the Olympic Village and your Olympic Village
yeah.
bed. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, on my cardboard bed, like people jumping on them. Like yeah.
Were those comfortable?
Yeah.
I had to ask.
Okay, they were pretty like firm, like very firm, and
I
it was
would
pretty
think so.
hot there too. We had like AC unit for the apartment, so
Oh, that's nice at least.
there were 3 bedrooms, and the living room. So the AC unit was for the full apartment. So I had it for a while, but like we were changing between the rooms, so it wasn't that actually effective. And my room was kind of like going on a main street, so I had like the outside blinds, so it was dark, but when I closed them, it was getting really hot, so I was trying to keep them a little bit open and like the door open in the night, because it was still pretty like chill in the nights, but it was really loud because people would be celebrating and all that stuff. Like, you can imagine that Olympic Village is gonna be like everybody going to bed at 9-10. No, people are actually partying all the time.
I don't doubt it. That sounds like a university dorm.
No, for
times
real.
10.
Yeah, definitely.
But I remember I was in Paris 2 years ago during the really big European heat wave.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand
Yeah,
how hot that gets.
It's pretty hot. But the village was, I mean, the buildings were pretty close to each other, and like it was just like, it's a small town within a big city, and like the village was huge. It was going over the Seine, and like you could go to different parts, and our building, Polish building, was like pretty far, so we even had like smaller dining hall closer to ours, because like there was a huge dining hall, but there was a smaller one just because it was so huge, so like you didn't want to go there.
That's nice.
So no, it was like actually very livable. Like I could stay there for longer. I was there for, I would say, I think 9 days. I didn't go for the full Olympics. I didn't go for opening ceremony, which was actually, yeah, sad, but also like it was raining. I'm kind of happy that I didn't get sick or anything. And the boats, like it looked fun, but apparently like when people are there, like they couldn't see actually anything because they were just on those boats and swimming through the Seine. So like I kind of like, I mean, it looked fun, but I feel like I'm glad that I could watch it on my couch in Poland. But then also, which I think was crazy, my race was August 6th, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Paris on the 2nd or 3rd. So the track started on the 1st.
Yeah.
So I was already watching some races when I was yet at home. And I was like, damn, I'm racing at the Olympics in 4 days. And I'm still on my couch. Like, it was crazy, actually, to kind of like realize that I'm going there. And honestly, like, I was so like, I wasn't confident at all when I was at home. When I was practicing by myself this last few days before going, I was like, damn, I'm so unfit. Like, no, it's so bad. Like, this is gonna be a disaster. And then I went to Paris, go to the practice track, saw my coach from Oregon. And I was like, oh, I'm so fit.
Who coached you?
Jerry was there because he had like professional athletes. Shalane wasn't there, so he was kind of taking care of me. And yeah, when I saw him and just like be back in this like kind of grind, I was like, okay, we're good. Yeah.
No, it was so cool. I woke up in the middle of the night to watch you and Jada.
And my first round was like 11 or something European time, so it was like 3 a.m. here.
I set those alarms. I watched. But it was so cool because I'm sitting there. I'm like, I know her. Yeah. I'm like,
Now we're sitting here.
I know. You're right here. You have your Olympic tattoo. You've earned all of it. Oh my God, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
You're so cool. Look at that. Oh, you're so cool. But no, it was so fun, especially you sneaking into U.S. trials. I sat with you and watched the women's 1500 final in the U.S. after you had already qualified in Poland.
Yeah.
And then I'm now 2 months later in my childhood bed, way too early, falling asleep, watching you run. And I'm like, seeing you in that stadium, I was like, this is so cool because you have all of the greats in women's 1500 right now.
Yeah.
And it's you.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
You are now ranked 22.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to feel like you belong, that you're actually there, because you always dream about it. And yeah, it's amazing feeling that, and like, you know that you worked hard, but you're also aware that there's so much things that you can improve. And I'm like, okay, like, you always need some luck too. I feel like I was also like, I don't want to say that I was lucky to make the final because I worked my way through to the final, but of course, like, you need some luck in that. And but I worked my way there. Like, I know that I was working hard here in Eugene. Like, that's why I came here at the end of June. I went home, ran the Olympic Center, qualified, and 2 days after that, I was back in the US.
I know. I saw you post at Hayward. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You just ran in Paris.
Yeah, it's been wild time, but
And
I
then
took the risk.
you
so.
ran in Polish Diamond League right after, right?
Yeah, I raced NCAs here, went to Canada, straight from Canada to Poland, ran the Olympic standard, then ran my nationals, and 2 days later was back here. So it was like 2 weeks. No, it wasn't even 2 weeks. I was at home for like 12 days, and I raced twice there. Ran Olympic standard, qualified, and came back.
Just casually.
Yeah, it was so crazy because like I ran Olympic standard, and I knew that I need to race at nationals yet. So it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like Friday or Thursday, like week after week. And right after Olympic standard, you're like, okay, we gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for training, if I'm staying in Europe or coming back here. And I'm sure like we bought those tickets like 3 days before. It was like such a like last minute decision that I'm flying back here. So I raced, and I was like, okay, give me this one day after my race to kind of like pack everything and get back. So yeah, I flew back. I'm pretty sure I raced on Thursday and flew back on Saturday. And on Saturday afternoon, since the time change, I was already watching US trials here.
That's crazy. Didn't you PB at Polish trials?
I PB'd week before
Okay.
at the World Athletics Tour Gold Meet, whatever.
Yes. I feel like you PB'd so many times back to back that I was like, I can't keep track with you. But seeing you do finals was at Paris was crazy because I'm like, I know your talent. I know how good you are. I know that you held school record last year. So I wasn't doubting you, but I'm like, okay, are you going to make the finals with all these grades?
Yeah, I didn't think that I'm going to make the final.
I know. I was like, when you made the finals, I was like, okay, why did I doubt you? But two, it's like, oh my God, my friend is literally running the Olympic final.
I didn't know that I'm going to make it too. Like, I swear, like, my first thought was just like to make through this to the semi. I was just like, I'm pretty sure I was ranked like around 25th place going into Olympics, like my PB, and I was like, okay, there's 24 spots in the semi, I can do it. And then I went through the first round, and I was like, oh, that wasn't actually that hard. I feel like I could run harder if I had to. And then for the semi,
not that hard when you're at the Olympics.
And I was like, I know that I was in the best shape of my life at that point. And the prelim just like made me realize that I'm actually fit. And then went to the semi, and I was like, okay, I just have to put everything that I have. I'm pretty sure going into semi, my result was like 7th or 8th in my heat. There are 6 spots, and we were just like counting, okay, she ran a little slower in the prelims, okay, and I ended up, I think, being 5th in my semi, and I was like, okay,
yeah, I think
like,
that's what you were.
So I think we were just like counting those people, and we pretty much thought that my heat is gonna be harder because I had world record holder in my heat. I was like, okay, it's gonna go out fast, but it ended up going pretty fast, and I was like, okay, I guess that's my chance. I remember like in this race, I was like, okay, that's my chance. Like since it's pretty slow, I mean, I was fit and I believe that I can run faster from faster race too, but I was just like, okay, since it's not that fast, like that's one of the races that I've had in my life so many times. It was actually really slow. And I was like, okay, I can do it. And then I was counting those people in front of me because I can do math. And I'm seeing like, I think I was 7th or 8th. I was like, damn, I need 2 people. And then on 200 to go, I was like, I know I can. And it was just like one person, another. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening. And on this last home stretch, like I really wanted to look back because I have this kind of, I like looking back and see if there's nobody coming. But I was like, Shalane said, no, do not look back. Because then when you look back, like from the other side, someone can pass you. Yeah. So like, don't look back. I'm like, okay, I can't. And I just like was hoping that nobody's gonna catch me. I mean, I had like still 1 spot because I was 5th. There was 6 spots, but I was like, okay, I'm so scared on this home stretch. And then I was like, oh my God, cross the finish line. I was like, this is not happening. Like I feel like that was the best day. Like even not the final, but the semi. Because like the
semi was so good.
You're forever Olympic finalist. Nobody can take it away from you. Like that's something that like
I was your first Olympics.
I know, and you dream just to be Olympian, and you end up being Olympic finalist, and it's like, oh my God, like now everything is gonna change. So yeah.
I remember watching it and seeing you come around that curve on that final, and I was like, oh my God. And then I saw you pass. It's like, oh my God. And it was like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were asleep. I was like, I can't get excited. I can't get excited. But
Go and wake them up.
My mom would have been very unhappy. But seeing you finish, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
She's an Olympic finalist.
Yeah. It's something that you cannot even describe. Like, I was just in shock. I was happy. It was such a weird feeling. And then I feel like it was so hard for me to put everything together back for the final because I did not expect to be in the final. And I remember talking to Shalane the night before my final, so it was like I had a day between every time. So I talked to her on the day off in the evening. Like, I was usually talking to her every day, but I went on like my night walk around the village, which was pretty cool. And I was talking to her and I was like, yeah, I'm so excited, but I was like, I felt kind of like a pressure to, I don't know, prove now that I deserve to be in the final, that like I kind of didn't know like how to actually put everything together to motivate myself again, because I feel like I like spent lots of energy for the semi, just like mentally, physically, and then having this another race you really want it. Like, I was like saying that I just don't want this journey to be over. Like, I told her that I really, before the semi, I was like, I really want to have another race. Like, I want to have 3 races at the stadium. Like, it's so cool, it's so fun. And it's like, okay, let's make this happen. And it's been just, I really wanted to be in the final, but I feel like I just wasn't mentally prepared that I will be in the final. And what I was talking also to my therapist was that people are usually like prepared for months or even a year, because you can run the Olympic standard a year before. So people are sometimes prepared. They're preparing themselves mentally to go to Olympics, and then they can do big things there. But like for me, running the standard last minute, I didn't have like mentally like this preparation. Like, I was just like thrown into that, and then I feel like it took me a while to process that afterwards, because so many things happened. And I didn't expect to be an Olympian. I didn't expect to then go to semi. I didn't expect to make the final, and then I didn't expect to break 4 minutes 2 weeks later. Like, I feel like so many things happened, and it took me so long to process that, because I wasn't like prepared for that. I wasn't like, it's just so hard to kind of like process all of it.
Especially when you're doing absolutely insane things.
Yeah, and it's like you hope for that, but when it's actually happening, it's like, oh my god, it's actually happening. Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. People start like knowing you, asking for autographs, like I raced, my last race outdoors was in Poland. So like I was going on a track and people were chanting my name, and I'm like, they know me? Like, what the heck? Like,
because wasn't that where you broke 4 minutes?
Yeah, that was my last race.
That was
it was in Poland.
That was the
Lake.
Diamond League. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god! Like, I felt like I was just seeing update after update after update of Klaudia, and I'm just like, you are incredible.
Thank you,
my friend. Because I didn't know you until my first travel trip.
Yeah, because we went to the same trip to Boston, right? Yeah.
And I made you and Izzy eat a Twinkie.
I remember that. Never ate it again.
Those are so bad. I felt so bad. But Izzy, when Izzy and I went in the store and I saw him, I was like, I should make you try it. She goes, we're putting in my per diem card. I didn't know any of you before that trip, and it was just, it was so nice, because you were all so welcoming and fun, and now I get to see you guys do cool things. Izzy's back running in Australia and New Zealand. You're an Olympian, still running here. You have your name engraved in the ground outside of Hayward.
Yeah, and there's my name also in Jake. Why did you know that? Yeah, it's on the floor. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, I need to go back to Jakewa, and I need to see that. I need you to tell me where so I can go see that. Okay. Because that is awesome, and yeah. Look at you legend.
Yeah, I'm just walking by Hayward Tower, and I'm just like going little around to see my name, to see if it's still there.
It's my name.
And then I feel like people are like, what is she doing? And I'm just like, that's me.
It's me. Forever there. No, you earned people staring at you. Well. But it's so cool.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's been a wild time.
And now you're back here for maybe last year, maybe not last year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just
trying to
casually
figure things
coming back
out.
to school after being an Olympian.
Yeah, that's kind of challenging too. Like, I swear, first, like, the fall term was so hard to kind of log in. Like, I knew that, okay, like, I need to graduate, but it was just, like, so hard because you know that you want to be a runner. And, like, I'm doing my degree in math. I just actually finished my major, so I'm just taking other classes right now for credits. But it was just so kind of difficult to log in and be like, okay, like, I need to check this box as well, because after Olympics and after summer I was like, okay, like, I know that I want to be a runner, I know that I have options right now, which wasn't that obvious before this summer. I was like, oh, I need to actually make my way through there. And then you're like, okay, I know that I can be a runner, and then you're like, okay, but I need to graduate as well because you need that degree, just in case. And, like, I enjoy doing that, so it's not like I'm just here because I want to be a runner. Like, I like school, I like math, which is crazy. It's very unusual major for athletes.
Yeah. I remember you told me you were a math major, and I was like, no, you're not. You're lying to me.
I am, and minoring in geography, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish it.
It's fair.
It's, yeah, kind of question mark.
My dad was a math major here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he a teacher or something?
No. He does insurance he was doing it with Allianz, but now he switched to a different company. But he always was like, you should be a math major. Like, no.
I mean,
Absolutely
I know
not.
people that went, like, the same path after their parents with math, because, like, I feel like with math people think that it's like, I don't know, genetics. No, it's not like that. You actually need to like it. And I know people that were kind of like, not like forced, but they're like, okay, my parents are doing math or my dad is doing math, I'm gonna do the same. And it's like they are not happy doing it. So I feel like, yeah, you gotta go your own way.
Yeah. I did math all through high school, and I fulfilled my math requirement before I even came here. Like, I was taking college classes in high school, and it was so fun, but I like making things more, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So when you told me you were math, I was like, I respect that. I respect that a lot. One more question about Olympics. With running with the world record holder.
Yeah.
Was that just like an insane moment for you? Like, who do you look up to in your
If I'm
discipline?
being honest, I look up a lot to American runners, just because I'm here and, like, I'm going through the system that many of them went through. But definitely, like, huge inspiration is Jess Hall. Just because she was also international, she came to UFO, was running really fast, and now she's Olympic medalist. So, like, definitely her as well. Like, I had a opportunity to meet her at the Olympics and afterwards when she was here for the game. So yeah, I feel like huge support from Jess and all the athletes, but it's definitely inspiring, motivating, and but, like, running with with world record holder, Faith Kipiegan is like an icon of middle distance running and, like, long distance running. So the fact that she has a kid, like, that's amazing to run so fast, and she won 3 Olympic gold medals in a row. Like, nobody has done this before. That's something that you're like, oh my god, I wish. But, like, counting that LA 2028, then Brisbane 2023, 2032, and then I don't know what's next.
I think it's in Italy. No, that's winter.
Oh, well, I don't think they decided yet.
No, because they just did Milano Cortina. So
yeah, so probably
I think summer is the next one that's being decided.
Yeah, so I'll be 30 some. That might be hard to do.
Maybe 36.
I mean, I might do it, but I don't know if, like, in the middle
That's
distance
crazy.
running, maybe something else then, maybe 5K. I don't know.
We don't know.
Don't
yet.
tell that to my coaches.
I won't tell anyone. But LA 28 was also what I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
Because you're going to graduate here this year. Maybe stay here till 26.
Yeah.
Other than that, hopefully train in US. And then Olympics will be back in US.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time we had Summer Olympics. I think that was
A while ago.
Atlanta?
Yeah, 2000?
Oh, no, 2000 was...
No, 1996.
Yeah, 96 was Atlanta.
Yeah.
So...
A while ago.
You're set. your second Olympics, knock on something,
Yeah.
will be
No, like
LA 28.
now I just hear say out loud that I want a medal in LA. Like that's what I want. I'll be 27, 26 by then. I feel like it's a great time.
You were on that track record to get somewhere good.
Yeah.
Because you're 23,
Yeah.
running sub 4.
Yeah. Are meant to be broken, but the medals are always yours.
True.
So I want a medal. Even if I'm running 3:55, it's not a world record. Like, if I can win Olympics, that's fine.
Just casually.
If
Let's
I can,
win
like,
the Olympics.
Sometimes people win with like very like mid results, but they are Olympic champions or world champions. Like, nobody looks at the results at the end. Like, they say that they are Olympic champion with the result. No, like, nobody says that.
Olympic champion.
Yeah.
And it's even more impressive that your first Olympics, you were Olympic final.
Yeah, so now it's just...
That's the next step.
Yeah. It has
Effortlessly.
to.
But genuinely, a lot of the people that you raced with will likely retire in the next 8 years.
It's possible. Maybe not all of them.
Well, not all of them.
But like, people will be also moving up with the distance. Of
Yeah.
course, new people will be coming in.
Yeah.
But like, having this experience, I think that's crucial also to now know what to expect. Know how to prepare mentally yourself for 3 races. It was the first time I had 3 races in one competition. Like, in NCAA, anywhere else, we have 2 usually.
Oh, yeah.
And like, now I had 3 and was kind of like... I feel like that was also what made it harder to get ready for this third race. I was first physically tired. Like, I barely slept after my semi. Like, yeah, it was difficult to sleep after my semi, and it was in the evening, so it's even harder to sleep after races like that. And then just mentally getting ready for the third race.
Did your parents come and watch you?
They were for the first race.
Okay.
Just because, okay, they were like planning to come for 1, maybe 2 races because they were working.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
I was like, okay, like, just come for the prelims because I know that I'm gonna race there. And like, I was like, in case I need to race this extra race, because between prelims and semi there was like a
redemption, right?
Yeah, this
Okay.
one extra race. So I was like, if I don't make the semi, I have at least this one extra race, so like they can still watch it. So like, prelims are the best time for you to come.
Yeah.
And then I made the final and I was like, dang it, they should be there. But no, I wasn't mad at anything. Like, they were waiting for me at home. Like, I came back and they had like a little party with family and waiting for me, so it was cute too.
Oh, that's so nice. So they at least got to see you once.
Yeah.
Did they go to the Poland Diamond League?
My dad.
Your
My
dad.
dad has been.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, seeing
But
you-
they saw me like running the Olympic standard,
Yeah.
nationals, they were there. So yeah, it's so like actually special right now for me to have them, because like, I don't have them at like daily basis when I'm racing here, and then going to Poland and racing there, like having them was so cool, and like enjoying and celebrating this special moment for me. Like, I didn't even know that I ran the standard like right after. Like, I expected, because I standard was 402.5, and I crossed the finish line and the clock has changed like from 401 to 402. I looked at the clock and I was like, I think I did it, but I was still waiting and waiting and waiting for the result, and it came out for 1. I was like, oh my god, I made it. And like, yeah, I was racing in Poland and everybody was like I was Polish, so of course they were cheering on me, and the announcer was like, oh, Klaudia Kazimierska ran the Olympic standard, whatever. I was like, oh my god. And I was like so in shock, like interviews and everything, and I didn't have any interview for so long. Like, nobody knew me, and now I'm like, people want to talk to me, and like the fans are waiting for me after the mix zone, like autographs, pictures. And I was on the phone with Shalane. I'm like, Shalane, I need to go. They're like waiting for me.
Shalane, I'm too
I
popular
need
right
to
now.
go. I need to go. She was like, okay, call me after, like, cool down. I'm like, okay. And I was cooling down and like talking to her on the phone. But yeah, having my family there, my parents, and then my sister too, because I have a sister that is 1 year older, so we're very close. She lives in Poland, so like, I still can't see her that often. So like, just having them that I don't have usually, it's just so special. So
I know. When I was looking at all your times yesterday on World Athletics, just so I like had up to date, because you are crazy, and I feel like you've PB'd so many times in the past year.
yeah. First time in a while, actually. It took me a while to PB, and I feel like that was also a huge step for me to kind of unlock this.
Yeah, but when I saw that it was sub 4 and PB at the Polish Diamond League after Olympics, I'm like, that is just so sweet for you.
Yeah.
Because it's at home. Well, as closest to home as you probably run. I'm like, that's just nice.
Yeah. And to finish your season this way, like, I had an option to race after that. There were, like, a bunch of meets in Poland yet, smaller, but they, like, were inviting me. But I was like, I had to say no because I was just mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
And between Olympics and the Diamond League, it was 2 weeks, and this time I already went to London for a little vacation. Like, I was running and working out still, but it was just, you know, I was honestly thinking only about having time off at that point. And
well, I mean, because you had been running since the beginning of cross.
yeah, it's been a long year. So I was like, I want to take a break. And at this Diamond League, I was like, okay, that's the way to finish it. And I'm like, no, I'm not racing anywhere else.
You deserve a break.
Yeah.
Especially, like, being injured right now probably sucks. But at the same time, you're kind of able to now experience college as a college student in America.
I mean, I'm still, like, training as much as I can, but I feel like it's also a great lesson for me. Like, it's tough, but I think that's also my body sending me a signal that, like, you have to chill out. Like, you've had a long year. It's okay to take a step back. And, like, seeing how many athletes are, for example, switching the distances after Olympic years, just, like, for 1 year to do something else, to not have this pressure. Or even, like, Femke Bol recently announced that she's not going to race individually in indoor season. And, like, I don't know, maybe she's injured, maybe she just needs a break, like, but I'm like, I understand that so much right now, which I didn't understand before, like, experiencing that by myself. Because everybody can warn you, and I've been warned multiple times, like, enjoy that time in summer, because it's not gonna be that great all the time, and the Olympic blues, how they call it, like, it's real. And I'm like, no, like, why would it exist? And now I'm like, yeah, it's actually a thing. Like, you go from this high to kind of low of, like, you're really motivated, you want to run, you want to practice, but, like, then something happens and you're, like, so lost because you were just so high.
Yeah. But honestly, that's your body with burnout.
Yeah.
It's telling you that it needs a break.
Yeah.
It's good to listen.
Yeah, so. And I feel like this is a great lesson for me for the future. I was actually saying that when I had little break in December when I was injured, I was swimming and I was like, damn, it's so fun. Like, I never swim, and now I can, actually. And it was actually so refreshing. I love going for a run, but, like, waking up in the morning, packing my backpack and going to the swimming pool was like, oh my god, this is so fun. And, okay, like, I missed running a lot, and I'm so excited to run, but it's something that you actually don't have a chance to experience when you're healthy, when you're practicing, because you also, like, don't want to overdo, don't want to add something that may not help you. But, like, at the point when you're injured, you're trying things that actually may help you, and then you can apply it for your training. And, like, now when I start running, I still want to keep all the things that I was doing when I was injured, because they made me stronger, and it turns out that they can, like, help you in different ways. Like, I'm, like, my upper body is, you know, I'm a middle distance runner. I'm not jacked, you know. So I feel like having the swimming pool to have, like, this actually strength for my upper body is like, oh my god, that's great. Or like even breathing, like, it's different way that you need to breathe, and we don't have to do it when we are running. So yeah, I've learned so much from this time. It's been very hard, but I've learned so much.
Yeah. There's ups and there's downs.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ups are really, really up there. And sometimes the downs are really, really down there. But in the end, it all builds you into who you are.
Yeah.
And that's a good lesson to learn.
Yeah, just kind of allowing yourself for this time to think that you don't even need to do when you're doing great. Because, like, everything is fine. And then you're in this low and you're, like, kind of reconsidering all the things, and it's not like you're doubting them, because you're not, because they were great and they're still great, but it's like you kinda need to find the way to do things without having other things. And that, for me, it was running. When it was taken away from me for a few weeks, it was kind of like, oh my god, like, how am I supposed to Like I need running to be me, and it's not true because you're valuable as a person anyway.
Yes.
So many great lessons and experiences. Even though injuries suck, like it's still something that, like every athlete has injury at some point, and I'm kind of grateful that it's happening. It happened because I've learned, and athletes are coming back after injury stronger mentally or everything. Like aqua jogging was terrible. Imagine being in a pool. I don't know if you've been to Hayward Tubs,
I haven't.
but we have like pool. I don't. It's
I've
tiny,
seen the pictures of them.
tiny pool,
Yeah.
and it's like underwater treadmill. But I was aqua jogging there too when I couldn't touch the ground, and I would be aqua jogging there for 60 minutes without any music, anything. And it's just like one way, another, and it's like, I swear it's 3 meters. It's smaller than this room, and I swear after doing that I went for a bike. Now I have green light for biking, and I mean, I've had a green light for it. Whatever. It happened like a few weeks ago. And when I started biking, I was like, damn, it's so fun. I can actually watch something when I'm biking. I can listen to music, because in the pool, I don't want to risk that I'm going to lose my AirPods. So I'm just aqua jogging and doing nothing and thinking. And you're like, damn, I have so much. If you want to have time to think, go and aqua jog. Go and aqua jog. I know it sounds terrible.
I don't know if I want to do that. How many math problems were you doing in your head?
Oh, too many. No, it's terrible. It taught me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could recite Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah. Now I can do anything I want, which is so great. And then when it's the only one thing that you can do, actually.
It's like you want to do it, so you're being active.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do it because then you're aqua jogging.
Yeah, and at some point I went to our trainers. I was like, no. They were like, do you want to go into the pool? No. And I was like,
Don't
okay.
make me.
I'm like, I'm not doing it. And like, I smell like chlorine all the time. That I was like, no, please. I feel like when I was going to my classes, people were thinking that I'm like a swimmer with my athlete backpack. Like, no, guys, I'm a runner. But
no, you actually started the D1 swimming team now.
Maybe aqua jogging D1 team. I don't know that this is not a real thing, but maybe we should start D1 aqua jogging. I would be a champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think you could win the Olympic medal for D1 aqua jogging.
Definitely.
What are your cats' names?
Okay, I have 2 cats.
Okay.
And my sister has another one, so I treat it as mine too. But
yeah, of course.
My oldest one, it sounds like my kids. My oldest one, it's a girl, and she is like 13, I would say, or 14. We had her since I was like like 10 or 9, so it's so cute. But her name is, it's Polish name, it's Sotka. It's like kind of naughty translation. Something like that. And the other one is Salem, which is not after Salem, Oregon, actually.
I hope not.
It's about like, my sister just was like, because like my cat is black, this cat is black, so she's like, oh, like witches and that stuff. I'm like, okay, girl, you can decide. And her cat is Brownie. Yeah, so yeah, but I really want to have a cat. I want to have a cat once I finish school, like, and turn pro. That will be my first thing that I'm gonna acquire. It's gonna be a cat.
No, me too. I've been looking. Do you live with a cat now?
No, my roommate is allergic, so we cannot really have cats. But like, our house is also pretty old, so our landlord is like, maybe not, just
That's
because
fair.
Yeah.
We have a little kitty named Kevin.
I know, I need to meet him. I have a funny story actually about cats. I live like close to apartments, and we can like, our windows is facing the windows of the apartments, and I see cats in the apartment there. Mm-hmm. So one day I was like, you know what, I'm putting a sign in our window. And I put a sign in my window, can I pet your cat, please? And they answered. God. It's like, yes, of course, come whenever, just ring the doorbell. So the next day I went with my 2 roommates, and we were just petting the cats. And his name was Kevin too.
Oh my god, the cat?
Yeah, it was Kevin and Pumpkin. Oh. Yeah, the pumpkin was orange, as you can guess. But I know, I was like, this is so, like, I'm so brave. Like, I'm never
adorable.
That outgoing. But I was like, I need to meet those cats. And yeah.
Where can people find you on social?
On my Instagram. I have TikTok, but it's like... You've seen my TikTok, right?
I've seen your TikTok, don't worry. Of course I follow your TikTok.
Sometimes they're funny.
Oh, they are so funny. They are so funny. I love whenever you post.
But with TikTok, I would just leave it for people to find me. When I posted like from Paris, it was actually going viral.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
When I was eating pizza in my Olympic village after my semi, it was actually, or like when I had my doping test after the final, it's not easy to get a doping test done after race, you know, and I was like trying to get some fluids in me, and I was just like jumping everywhere, and those people were like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I just need to start drinking." And then there were like other athletes from my final, and I remember the British coach. I don't know if you know the athlete Laura Muir. She's British athlete. I think she finished 4th or 5th in the final. And her coach was like, "Oh, Poland is still fighting," and she was like done with everything. Like, she's so experienced, and I was like trying to. It was so long, but
I can imagine you jumping up and down.
And it was on my TikTok, and actually it was pretty popular.
Then I need to go watch that because I don't think I saw that one. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Thank you again for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
And thanks for the listeners for tuning in. If you're interested in learning more, please reach out to me or to Klaudia. And don't forget to follow along for more future stories and insights from our athletes. See you next time.
Bye.